Hi everyone, here are your notes for section 5.4, which is getting us into medians of a triangle. So the things that I really need you to be able to do is understand what a median is. You're not necessarily going to need to construct it, but you need to know what a median is and how to solve a triangle that has a median in it. So what is a median? A median is a segment from a vertex to the point of the opposite side. So a segment from a vertex to the midpoint. Emphasis on the word midpoint. I don't know if you want to highlight that, underline it, make it a different color, but pretty much what we care about is that a median is going to connect to a midpoint. So if I were to make you guys do a construction of it, which I won't, if I wanted to construct a median, I would have to find the midpoint of one of my sides. So how do we find midpoints? Well, I could either take my piece of paper and fold it in half, right, and find the middle of it, or I could take my ruler and line it up and measure it. Do I have a ruler? Nope, no ruler. So I'm going to pretend that I'm taking my ruler and putting it there. So let's pretend maybe that this was 4 inches, right? So my midpoint would be at 2 inches. So at my ruler at 2 inches, I would make a dot, right? And that would tell me that I have a midpoint. Marking wise, we would put single tick marks on either side to show that that's the middle. So the right side is equal to the left side. So the right would be 2 inches, the left would be 2 inches. Then I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to line it up from the top corner and then go straight down to that midpoint. And now I just created a mid-segment. So this would be your mid-segment. Okay. So your mid-segment does not have any relationship to any of the sides. Like if you guys remember, we did our mid-segment. Our mid-segment was connecting 2 midpoints, right? And if this was 4, this was 8. Well, a median connects 1 midpoint to the opposite vertex, and there is no relationship. So the only thing that I really care about is that if I have a median, I'm going to have my left equal to my right. I'm going to have a midpoint down there. So if you see the word median, you should just be thinking, oh, well, that means I have a midpoint. So for this example, it tells us that GT is a median. Okay, so because GT is a median, that tells me that T is a midpoint. And why do I care that's a midpoint? Well, that means that the left is going to be the same as the right. So if TE is 8, that means FT is 8. And what are we asked to find? We're finding FE, which is the whole entire thing. So FE is going to be equal to 8 plus 8, which is 16. Would be our answer for that one. Okay. Here we have, again, GT is a median. So the only thing I really care about knowing is that T is going to be a midpoint, which makes the right and the left equal to each other. If FE, so now it's telling me that the whole entire length, so from F to E is 24, and I'm asked to find F to T, which is this red part right here. Well, if the whole thing is 24, then FT would be half of that, so 12. Okay, don't make it any more complicated than that. All right, now we're going to throw in some algebra. So again, GT is a median. So all I care about that's a median is that the left and the right are going to be equal to each other. So if FT is 2x plus 8, and then the right side, ET, is 3x minus 7, what am I going to do to solve for x? Well, I'm going to set them equal to each other because the left equals the right. So 2x plus 8 equals 3x minus 7. Subtract your smaller x over to your larger x. So subtracting 2x from both sides gets us 8 equals x minus 7. Then your last move is to add your 7. So 8 plus 7 is what, 15? So x is equal to 15. Oh, not done. I almost messed up. What are we asked to find? FE. Okay, so if x, FE, remember, is the whole entire thing. We just said that x is 15. So when I plug that back in, let's say to this x, 2 times 15 plus 8 is 30 plus 8, so 38. So that side's 38, which means the other side should also be 38 if we did our math right. So FE is going to be equal to 2 38s, so 38 plus 38, which should get us to 76 when we add those together. Okay, so now let's go one step further. Here we have a diagram again. BD is the median. So again, all I care about is that point D is a midpoint. And if D is the midpoint, that makes the left equal to the right. So I'm ignoring this right now. I'll bring that back in after I solve for my x. So I'm going to set my left, which is 2x plus 3, and set it equal to my right, which is 4x minus 5. So subtract your smaller x over, gets you 3 equals 2x minus 5. Adding 5 gets you 8 is equal to 2x, so x is equal to 4. But now I'm not done. I'm being told to find AB. Well, AB is over here. AB is equivalent to 5x. We just said x was 4. So 5 times 4 would be my final answer, which is 20. Okay, so we plug it back in after we solved for it. We're going to plug it back into our x. All right, that concludes your 5-4 notes.